Otter Creek Labs Titanium 22. You guys know how much I love Otter Creek Labs. I've got two of their polonium suppressors. This one, titanium, is fitting. It is extremely lightweight. We're at about 15 yards, subsonic 22 in here. Let's see how she sounds. Yep, no ear pro needed. Has Otter Creek Labs done it again? This is their Titanium 22. Now, they name their suppressors after different metals, like I've got the polonium K, the polonium 30, titanium 22. This one is very appropriate. These are not made out of polonium. They're made out of steel. Well, this is made out of titanium, and it is ridiculously lightweight. This thing comes in at 3.7 ounces and only 5.1 inches, but it's full auto rated and super duper quiet. And I think that if you want to get your kids into shooting, you know, there's a lot to be said for low recoil and low sound signature. And I think that I have the perfect answer for you right here. I have long said that I think Otter Creek Labs is the best value in suppressors. I own the polonium K and the polonium 30, and I recommend them to people all the time. I think for the money, they're really hard to beat. Well, this titanium 22 seems to be no different. I mean, yes, it's 22, it's gonna be quiet, but this is ridiculously quiet, and it's ridiculously lightweight. Like, it doesn't even feel like I have a suppressor on the end of this gun, and that is really nice. I'm a big fan of Otter Creek Labs. My favorite suppressors that I've owned have been my polonium series suppressors from them. They are, I think, the best value in suppressors on the market, bar none. And in fact, anytime someone asks me what I recommend for either a 30 cal or a 5.56 suppressor, these are the ones that I recommend. Now, there are, really cool, new, flow-through, 3D printed stuff on the market, but it's also very expensive. I think that for the price, it's really hard to beat Otter Creek Labs. So when I got this Ruger Mark IV, I did reach out to Otter Creek Labs because you can't have a Mark IV 22 and not run it suppressed, right? The thing is, though, is when it comes to suppressing a pistol, you don't want something big and heavy on the end if you can help it. I mean, to an extent, that's what you get. You're adding length and weight to the end of anything that you're going to put a suppressor on. But titanium cans are very light. I've got a titanium suppressor on the MP5K here, and even though it's a big, long suppressor, it doesn't feel like it adds a whole lot of weight to the end of the gun. Well, this feels the same way. In fact, I don't even really feel like I've got a suppressor on here. I mean, I can see it, obviously. It's longer, but it doesn't really seem like it adds any weight. It doesn't really change the balance of the gun because, again, only 3.7 ounces. Now, in the little intro there, I did talk about the best way to get your kids interested in shooting. But even for yourself, I mean, it is hard to beat the fun of shooting a suppressed 22. No ear pro needed, especially, when it's a 22 pistol like this, you don't even need to buy more expensive subsonic ammo. I've been running the regular CCI mini mags side by side with subs, and to my ear, I can't even really tell a difference. Now, if this was a rifle, yes, you have more barrel length to get more velocity out of the supersonic ammo, but in a pistol length barrel, you can just buy whatever cheap 22 you want. Again, I like CCI mini mags because they're reliable. Like, I've shot a lot of them lately. I've been shooting the hell out of this thing, and I think I've had like one round that didn't go off. And generally, when it comes to rimfire, it's kind of not known for being as reliable as centerfire cartridges. But the CCI stuff seems to run great in this. And it's just a heck of a lot of fun. And like I said about the kids, so my daughter, I don't force her to do anything. But if she wants to come shoot with me, I am always happy to bring her along. And she actually really enjoys shooting this thing. This video is sponsored by Venice AI. Do you ever wonder what ChatGPT does with your conversations? We all know that our phones, Alexa, everything like that, listens to our conversations and then advertises to us based on what we say. Well, what else are these things doing with our personal information? They're selling it to third parties, including governments. In fact, the director of the NSA, the former director, is now sitting on the board of ChatGPT, which is why I'm using Venice AI. Venice AI is an AI software. It uses open source software that you don't have to download. It goes straight to your web browser, but the biggest thing is that it's private and permissionless. And so you don't have to worry about them selling your information to anybody else, which is kind of why it's a big deal to me. I like privacy, even though I show everything that I do on a YouTube channel. My daughter, she's 13. She uses AI for all kinds of things these days. She's been writing stories with it. She's been making music with it. It is incredible what you can do with AI. It's a very powerful tool, but keep your privacy while you use it with Venice AI. I like the Pro plan personally. It just gives you a lot more that you can do, and you can get a 20% off on your Pro plan if you sign up using my link. That is venice.ai/sawtooth-tactical. Use that code to get 20% off. The code is sawtooth-tactical. There's nothing quite like a suppressed 22 for your kid. This is my daughter Savannah. She's 13. This thing has no recoil, no sound, and it is just easy to shoot. So, here you go, sweetie. Safety is on. Just like a 1911. Now it's off safe and you can shoot. Nice.
It hurt me.
Nice shot. So the Otter Creek Labs Titanium 22 is made out of a grade 5 titanium. Now I'm not a metallurgist, but grade 5 is the good stuff. And it is a regular, traditional baffle stack suppressor. Just like the other Otter Creek Labs suppressors that I own, they do have a 3D printed low back pressure suppressor out now, but the ones that I own are just standard baffle stack suppressors. And there's a lot to be said for that. For one thing, it's just more affordable. But for two, even though you get a little bit more back pressure, you seem to get better suppression. And this is no different. Even though this thing is small and lightweight, it is ridiculously quiet. And yes, I understand 22 is quiet compared to like 5.56. That is for sure. But it's nice when you can put something really small and lightweight on the end of your pistol and still get really, really good suppression. And you get that with this OCL suppressor. I really am a big fan of what Otter Creek Labs does as a company. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe, as far as their history goes, is that the guys from Otter Creek, they were making their own suppressors like in their garage. And they were running them at local matches. And from what I heard, people asked them, well, where did you get those suppressors? They sound so good. And they're like, well, we make them. And so it was recommended to them to, release them to the public. And they have been one of the fastest growing suppressor manufacturers over the last few years. I mean, whenever I see online, people are asking what 5.56 suppressor I should get. For the last few years, I mean, the Otter Creek Labs Polonium K is one of the #1 most recommended suppressors. I don't even know how they keep them in stock. They must just be pumping these things out because they are extremely popular, and for good reason. They're affordable and they're effective and they're built like tanks. I have run the hell out of this one. The other day I was training with my 300 Blackout, but hundreds of rounds through it. I mean, these suppressors are just solid. This one, I've been running with a force reset well, a super safety. And before that, I was running it, with a binary trigger for a few years. And it's no problem because full auto rated. Well, this one is also full auto rated. Now, I am thinking about getting a short barreled 1022. My local gun store actually has a short barreled, it's a pistol, it's got a brace on it, 1022 from Franklin Armory, and it's got a factory installed binary trigger in it. And as much as I do think that FRTs and super safeties have kind of made binary triggers obsolete, with 22, something that doesn't recoil, and you could just sit there, I think you would be able to run the binary trigger really fast. And with a full auto rated 22 suppressor, I think that that would be a lot of fun. But even on this little pistol, this Ruger Mark IV, I mean, this thing is just a joy to shoot. So the great thing about a Ruger Mark IV like this, the shorter barrel, is that supersonic rounds seem to be just as quiet as subs. So these are your regular CCI mini mags. These are the subsonic hollow points. I do gotta say one thing about this suppressor, it is ridiculously lightweight. I did also last night remove the Picatinny top rail and put a dedicated optic mount on this thing for an RMR footprint, and I like it a lot better with the optic a little bit closer to the gun. Oh, here, let's go no steel and see the difference in sound between the supers and the subs. Pretty quiet. I'll go to subs. Subs. I think they sound the same. Now, when it comes to getting your kids into something like this, I think that this is a really good way to do it for a couple reasons. For one, it's not very expensive. You can get a Ruger Mark IV for not really a whole lot of money. It's got great ergonomics. In fact, it feels like a 1911 in the hand and even has the same kind of 1911 controls. It's got a pretty decent trigger. It comes threaded for a suppressor, 1/2x28. And so just about any 22 suppressor on the market will thread right on. It doesn't have a Browning tilting barrel design, so you don't need to run any kind of booster, Nielsen device. You can literally just direct thread it and have a totally reliable, totally quiet, totally recoilless system for pretty dang affordable. Now, I got really lucky on this. I won this pistol at the Guffey's Range Day. It was a raffle. I bought $100 ticket and I won the Ruger Mark IV. Pretty freaking sweet, right? Well, and then I reached out to Otter Creek Labs about a suppressor, and it turns out they already had seen some of my videos because I've spoken very highly of their polonium suppressors in the past, which those ones I paid for myself because after a lot of research, those were the suppressors that I wanted, and I've been extremely happy with them. And so they were happy to send me a suppressor. Now, I did pay for a tax stamp for this suppressor, even though everybody's trying to wait until January 1st, 2026 to get free tax stamps. I wanted to get it now. And to me, it was worth $200 to do that. And I'm glad I did. Like I said, so I do everything with my daughter. I'm a single dad. It's just me and her. And so we do everything together. The one thing that I do a lot on my own is go shooting, especially when I'm filming for the channel. I always invite her along. Sometimes she decides to come, but a lot of the time she doesn't. And for one thing, I can kind of understand why. You got to put on ear pro. If she wants to shoot, it's something that's loud, it's got recoil. Now, obviously, 300 Blackout suppressed, not very loud, but in general, shooting is kind of loud. I can see how it is intimidating for a younger kid. Now, I have gotten her in the past BB guns. She's got a Daisy Red Ryder. She also has this. This is a Umarex BB gun, 177 caliber. That is a clone of a Smith & Wesson M&P. I got her this because it looked just like Dad's gun. But at a certain point, shooting a BB gun does get boring, and I understand that. And so I've wanted to put something together for her for a while that she would really enjoy shooting. You know, I thought that the suppressed AR9 would be that, or even the MP5, but really, what it's been has been this. This is the first gun that I've taken out with her that she has actually really enjoyed shooting. She doesn't have to try to shoulder it and get a sight picture. She's cross-eye dominant, so that's a little bit difficult for her. This, you know, it's a pistol, and she's got a lot of practice on the little BB gun here. And this thing, she can shoot pretty dang well. And the big reason for the Otter Creek Labs titanium 22 suppressor is that it's super lightweight. So it doesn't feel like it's front heavy to her, or to me, or to anything else. Now I did recently do some more upgrades to this gun. So the Ruger Mark IV comes with like a big Picatinny top rail. And I had the optic mounted on that on a Picatinny mount, and it stuck up really high. I did just recently get this RMR mount for it. So you take your Picatinny rail off and you mount that on, and it mounts the optic much lower. And I do think that that makes a big difference as well. Easier to get a quick sight picture with it, and it just looks better. I mean, this is a pretty cool looking gun. 1911 ergonomics, so kind of old school there, but kind of a space gun look to it. And honestly, for a 13-year-old daughter, the purple goes hard. But the suppressor is what makes it all come together and be just not intimidating at all for her. And honestly, for Dad, it's really fun to shoot as well. Nice. It has been really easy for me to recommend Otter Creek Labs suppressors. I've got a lot of experience with them, and they've been fantastic. This one is no different, and it's very easy for me to recommend it as well. I mean, it does exactly what you want a 22 suppressor to do. It's super, super quiet. But the big thing is, it's also affordable. It's also user serviceable, standard baffle stack. You can clean it yourself, which with 22, like I don't clean my 5.56 suppressor, and it's got thousands of rounds through it. I'm not really worried about it. There's a lot of pressure going through that. It kind of self-cleans to an extent. 22 doesn't do that. There's not a lot of pressure going through this, and you will get buildup in a 22 suppressor. So you kind of want one that you can take apart and clean, and you can with this. But the biggest thing to me, because, I mean, besides suppression, it's extremely quiet, is the lightweight. I like having something light on a pistol especially. And this is extremely lightweight. Titanium is a very strong metal, but it's also a very lightweight metal. And suppressors made out of titanium, I mean, if you haven't tried one, it is kind of a game changer. Like I said, I'm able to run a very long, very quiet suppressor on the MP5K because it's so lightweight, it doesn't really feel like it's weighing the front end of the gun down. And this, the Titanium 22 from Otter Creek Labs, feels the same way. We will be doing future videos with this just because I've got some ideas. Let me know if you guys want to see a video about getting your kids into shooting without forcing them into it. You know what I mean? Getting them into it in a way that they actually enjoy. Because I think that's the whole point. Forcing your kids to do something will make them not want to do it. You know what I mean? But if you have something that they'll actually enjoy shooting, then they're going to want to come out with you more and more. And I think that's important. I think passing down the Second Amendment is important to the next generation. And I love doing everything I can with my daughter. So I love to go shoot with her as well. And having something that she enjoys shooting, I think is very important. And I enjoy shooting it too. Like, shooting this is the most casual thing in the world. It's so different than, you know, putting on a battle belt and hearing protection And going out and doing a whole range day, you know, and spending a lot of money on ammo, 22 is dirt cheap. With this thing, man, put a couple steel targets up and plink all day. It costs you like nothing. You don't need the hearing protection. It's quiet, it's low recoil. You can work on your fundamentals. It's extremely accurate. You can shoot it from pretty far back as far as pistol distances go. And it's just plain fun. And shooting is allowed to be fun. And this is a lot of fun. So has Otter Creek Labs done it again? I think so. I own 3 of their suppressors, more than I have from any other suppressor manufacturer, and I am very happy with all 3 of them. This titanium 22, just like my polonium suppressors that I love so much, this one I do too. And it's just easy. You know, you don't have to put on some kind of QD system. You just direct thread it on. All 22s pretty much come with 1/2x28 threads. Put this thing on, you're not going to notice any extra weight on the end of your gun, whether it's a pistol or a rifle. It's going to be super quiet. And it's just, I'm going to keep saying this, it is so lightweight, and I really love that. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite 22 suppressor? But also, do you have experience with Otter Creek Labs suppressors? And let me know what you think about them, because I have yet to meet someone that doesn't like them. I think that they do. I mean, they're probably my favorite suppressor manufacturer. I mean, I own 3 of them. They're awesome. From Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.